Have you been thinking about trying the DoorDash hourly rate instead of the per offer option that they give? Well, I tried it out for you to see if it was good in my market and if it's worth it for you to try it out in your market. So let's find out exactly how it works, what we need to know as drivers, and if it's worth it to do the hourly or the per offer earnings option. Let's find out. Hi, I'm Tyler from the RideShare Guy. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the DoorDash hourly rate that they now offer, not in all markets, but it is rolling out in a lot more markets. It just rolled out in mine about a month ago. And so, of course, I had to try it out to see if it was worth it. So the first thing that really hit me when it first popped up on my screen, I was excited to see it. But then I was not excited to see the amount that they were offering per hour. So I had seen online a lot of people saying they were getting offered $20 to $25 an hour in their markets. Some of them said that their average was $22.15 when they get the hourly rate. And I was like, that sounds awesome. A guarantee of $22 an hour. My minimum that I shoot for is $20 an hour. I typically make between $28 and $35 an hour when I drive for all of my gigs. So if I'm a guaranteed 22, it's not as good as I've been making, but I'm happy with it. I would test it out. When it popped up in my market though, it first was $11.75 an hour. I could not believe it. I unfortunately didn't get a screenshot of it, but I just could not believe that it was so little amount. After that, I haven't seen very many that were $11 after that. Most of them have been about $12 to $12.25. I have seen as much as $13.75 in my area, and that was late at night when they said they were really busy and didn't have drivers, and they were offering on a per hourly rate $13.75. Now, as a gig worker that does multi-apping all the time, and my average is, like I said, between $28 and $35 an hour, an offer of $13 per hour does not call to me. It does not make me want to try it out. Now, they do say you'll get all the tips, but they also say that these offers that you're going to be getting are the ones that are the lowest paying tips. So in my mind, these are the no tippers. These are the dollar tippers. So if I get one order per hour, 2 orders per hour, I might get an extra $2 in tips. So that makes it up to $15. Again, not worth it to me, especially considering that in my area, I can find jobs working at these fast food restaurants or really anywhere making $13, $15, or even $18 an hour. And that's working a regular job at this. So definitely still more money than the $12 that they're mostly offering and the $13 that I've seen as the maximum in my area. Nonetheless, I tried it out to see exactly how it would work. So the orders come up exactly the same as they would with any other order, except for it doesn't give you an amount that you're going to get per offer. So for instance, if you typically would expect to see an offer pop up and it says that the dash is going to be $8 for a 3-mile drive, you're picking up from here, it gives you an approximate address that you're dropping off. So it gives you that information. Instead of telling you it's going to be $8, it now just says this is the information. So it doesn't give you any additional information. It doesn't tell you what the tip's going to be, if there's going to be a tip. It just says pick up here, take here, estimated time, estimated miles. Now, when I hear that I'm getting paid hourly, I expect to be paid hourly. So if I sign up for a time slot for DoorDash between 2 and 3, for $12.75 an hour, I expect that if I drive between 2 and 3, that I will get $12.75 minimum plus any tips that I get for that hour. But that's not how it works with DoorDash. So how it works is you get paid that hourly rate as long as you have a dash that you're picking up for. So if you start your dash at 2, and you don't get a request until 2:15. So now that 15 minutes you haven't been paid for. You don't get paid until you get that initial request. And then you get paid from when you get the request, driving to the restaurant, waiting for food at the restaurant, then leaving and dropping the food off. So it is kind of nice in the aspect that you're actually getting paid to wait, which as drivers, we never get paid to wait if we're doing it per offer. So that's kind of nice. But the little amount that you're getting per minute at that point is so small that it's not really worth it. Even driving at the per hour rate that I did, the several times that I did it, I never made that actual amount. So I drove for $12.75 an hour was the hourly rate they gave me. And even with tips, I never made that $12.75 because you don't get enough requests in that time frame that you're not constantly on a dash to get that hourly rate, which means you're getting $6, $7 for these deliveries that you're getting. And so at the end of it, you're getting almost nothing. Like for an hour, I got $11. And you can have other apps on, but if you don't accept the DoorDash, then you lose the hourly rate altogether. And then they force you to go back to the per offer earnings, which is fine because that's where I'm staying in my area anyway. So in my area, I am definitely not going to be continuing to do the per hour earnings. I found that the deliveries that they sent, they're shorter ones and no tips. And so you're not getting that additional money from the tips, and they're making sure that the hourly rate is going to be as short as possible because the rides and requests that you're getting are as short as possible to make sure that you make as little money. So these are the ones that the other drivers are not taking because it's not enough money. And so they're giving it to people that are just like, hey, here's an hourly rate. And it's almost, to me, a little misleading. Not even a little misleading. It's a lot misleading. But it helps them to make more money to get these deliveries done, and it doesn't really help the drivers at all. Now, again, this is my market. I'm in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. That's my market. I have heard of others in other areas that are getting an hourly rate from DoorDash that makes it more than worth it. $20. Someone even said, I haven't seen a screenshot, but they claimed that they were getting a $30 DoorDash hourly rate. If that's the case, please let us know. We'd love to see something like that. But for the most part in my area, it's not worth it. Even with multi-apping, doing all the other things, it's definitely not worth it. Because my minimum when it comes to a ride is I want to make at least $10 on a delivery, and I want to drive 5 miles or less on it. I'll drive as much as 7, but I want to drive 5 miles or less if I'm making $10. So if I'm driving 2 miles and making $3, it's not worth it. Yes, am I making money? Absolutely. Like, I'm positive money. However, I'm not positive enough money to make it worth it when I know that through Deliver That, Uber Eats, or even DoorDash per offer earnings, I can make more than the hourly rate they're getting simply by declining a lot of these bad orders and only accepting the ones that are worth it. So that was my experience with the DoorDash hourly rate. What about you in your area? How have you enjoyed it? Is it even there? What are your thoughts on it? Have you had good experiences? Does it help you to make more money? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We read every single comment. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. And please subscribe to the channel because there's new episodes that come out every single week that help you make as much money as possible in as little time as possible. And until next time, stay safe out there, everyone.